Welcome everybody. We are here at the Meta High School Esports League. It is the regional finals for New South Wales, and we couldn't be here if we weren't proudly presented by Acer and Intel. I'm Yummy Cheese Man. You know me, but of course I'm alongside a good friend, Chris the Average. Mate, are you excited for today's matchups?
Very, very excited, and with a fair bit on stake as well. I mean, the winners of today's final will be going to the national stage, and the top two of those, well, they get a free trip to the Melbourne Esports Open.
Melbourne Esports Open. That is the grand prize that these guys are going to end up at the end of, well, later on in the year. That's a huge event down in maybe the biggest esports event of the year, down at the Melbourne Esports Open on a huge stage. But speaking of stages, right now, these guys, Petty Jando, Foz, Kirby, Kudo, and Ribbit, featuring Kiama High School and Canley Vale High School, they're all down locally in Sydney playing on LAN. Now, we are remote casting right now. We're not there. You don't get to see their faces. You don't get to see our beautiful faces either, but you are going to get to see some great up-and-coming Rocket League.
Definitely are. They're currently at the Torrens University Sydney campus, which is just off Broadway here in Sydney. So we'll actually, I've seen the pictures from there. It looks pretty good so far. It's a nice, cozy feel to it.
Yeah, shout out as well to Torrens University and Optus, who are major sponsors of Meta High School Esports. Great to see those guys get on board. And speaking of getting on board, we are getting on board with these matches. I'm excited to see, I'm really looking forward to see some of the up-and-coming players in the high school area, the high school districts that we have. Kiama and Canley Vale both coming from New South Wales. Kiama way down south, down below Wollongong, and Canley Vale over in Western Sydney.
Yeah, not that far of Villawood for Canley Vale. But yeah, we've seen a few of these teams so far. We saw Kiama in week 1 where they just obliterated their opponents. If I remember correctly, 21-0 was the final total goal score line. So obviously you'll be expecting them to go pretty darn huge in this game today. But Canley Vale, they can definitely hold up their own. We've seen them so far in the past, I think it was mid regular season, around that point. They were all right. They didn't dominate the game as much as Kiama, but they were still fairly competitive.
Well, Kiama have gone undefeated the entire season. They haven't dropped a single game yet. That is a ridiculous way to get here. They are, without a doubt, the #1 team. And this is actually as well, when they went through league, it's the New South Wales and Queensland combined team. The top team from Queensland, the OCE Redbacks, are already through to the national finals to represent Queensland. And the top 2 New South Wales teams, Kiama and Canley Vale, are sitting just down the road, ready. It's a great LAN setup. I love to see it. And as well, this might be their first ever live event, their first ever LAN. I know a couple of these guys were down there at the Adelaide Grand Finals for one of the previous high school cups. Not sure it was the Meta one, but it was certainly, they certainly do have some LAN experience. But this is where those nerves could come into effect.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially if it's your first LAN, you just feel so nervous. Like you have no comforts of home. You're in a completely different environment, completely different chair. You don't have, as I said, you don't have any comforts of home, so it's pretty much only your nerves and your gameplay.
I think that's the big tale as well. Not just the nerves. They might not be too nervous here still at the regional stage, especially I think when you have to be as confident as Kiama are, but more about not being at home, not having your own setup, being, I guess they had to wait quite a while. We are running a touch late on the tournament. They had to wait. Maybe you need some more time to warm up. So those all go into effect. They all make it so that anyone could win this series and book their ticket to Nationals. Yeah,
and it's going to be completely different if they do make it to Nationals because it's only a small stage at Torrens University today, but when you get to the Melbourne Esports Open, they're playing at, well, it's formerly called the Hisense Arena, now it's just the Melbourne Arena. They'll be playing there. There should be a fair few more seats there, quite easily. And it's just going to be that completely different experience.
I did get to see the crowd. There was a great crowd there, and I'm excited to see so many people coming out to support the teams, the players, and Rocket League in general. I think we are about to get underway as well. We'll see if we can get into this match and find out, crown our New South Wales champions. We do have to check whether the teams are ready, but it looks like they are in the game right now.
Yep, they're slowly starting to join into the server. They'll go into their sides within the next minute, hopefully. Then we can finally get on the way in this best-of-5 series to see who will make the national finals for New South Wales.
It's a best-of-5 too. They've been playing a lot of best-of-3s on their way here, so this is another step up as well. Having to verse, a bigger stage, a bigger best-of-5 series. And I think later on, correct me if I'm wrong, they end up going into a best-of-7 at the Melbourne Esports Open.
They possibly could. I do need to double-check that, but I have seen it's either best-of-5 again or it's going to be best-of-7. I'm personally hoping for a best-of-7 because that just brings it just brings everything to the forefront pretty much. You have to be able to play for so long. You have to just try and keep a composure for that long. And yeah, there's a lot to deal with when you get to that best-of-7 level. But for now, only on the BO5, and it's still going to be hard for them. I mean, they've only had one best-of-5 in this entire series, and that was last week in the semis.
For sure, and honestly, those semis, they were very contentious. Canley Vale actually ended up coming third, just behind that Queensland team. It is good to see Queensland be so, involved, even though they didn't have quite as many teams signing up. They still got into New South Wales, and they had a big performance. So I'm looking forward to seeing them. They're straight through to the national level, because they don't have so much competition there. And Canley Vale and Kiama, it doesn't matter how you performed if you're Kiama all through league play, throughout 5 weeks of league play amongst 10 teams. It all comes down to the one day now, and you have to be at your best.
Yeah, if you don't show up today, then there's no hope of making it to nationals. So we do have a bit of a hardware issue, unfortunately, on stage. So we are going to be delayed a few more minutes, but just gives us a little bit more time to talk about what we're expecting today. I did have a look at a few of the profiles of the players. They're at that challenger high diamond level, so there's definitely some skill there.
You mean challenger grand champ level?
That's what I meant, sorry.
Champion, because we're not playing League of Legends, we're playing Rocket League, guys.
League of Legends a bit later in the day, straight after this.
And there's certainly some recognisable names. Foz has been around, top PS4 player. I mean, let's face it, PS4, there's not much to talk about. But Foz is at the top of PS4. Jando and Petty, I know those names too. At the other side, Canley Vale, I'm not sure about any of those players. I haven't seen them in the regular competitive scene. But then again, I don't know everything. They're probably great players that have played a lot of tournaments in the local region. But this is a great stepping stone too. A lot of times if you're trying to get into esports, if you're trying to get into Rocket League, it is very difficult to be that up-and-comer because all of a sudden you're facing the best teams in the region and you get stomped. Well, here in the high school league, you're facing other people in the high school league. You're facing similar opponents and you're taking a stepping stone to the next level. You're getting that experience first that can take you up once you've got everything else, the mechanics and the skills.
Yeah, and it's such a great thing that Meta is giving these players an opportunity because, as you said, if they just went through the normal ranks, they might hit someone like the Chiefs or the Renegades and they might just get completely stomped, which it's no fun at all.
But I mean, we see that all the time. You get a team, they're up and coming, they think they're doing really well, and then all of a sudden they verse the best of the best of the best, like international level competition. And that's when it suddenly falls apart and you're thinking, oh, are we good enough? Well, at the moment, they don't have to worry too much about that, but they are still facing good opponents. They have to be on their A game if they want to make it in the high school esports league.
Definitely, with some talent hanging around like we saw in last week's broadcast. We saw one of the Victorian semi-finals. That was a pretty good game. It was definitely close by the scoreline. And, well, we saw a lot of talent there. They're playing tomorrow afternoon, hopefully at 1 o'clock, and they'll be broadcast down there live from Melbourne. So it'll be good to see that as well.
Tomorrow is Victoria, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So there's going to be matches all around the country. 6 teams end up going into national, including you say national level, but there's a New Zealand team
Yes.
that are there as well.
Yeah, and they get to play next weekend. I'm pretty sure they're running their own little broadcast, so we'll obviously tweet it out when we get information about it.
And that's from Auckland. They all travel
Yeah.
to Auckland to make sure that they have their own land. So if you guys are in Rocket League, if you guys are in esports at all, and you're in high school, this is your chance to truly get some live experience. And I mean, we got to find out what's going on with this match. We're still having some technical issues trying to restart the lobby.
Yeah, unfortunately, we still have a few tech issues, but hopefully our admins on site will be sorting it out very, very quickly. But yeah, as you said, an experience like this, especially with mates, it's something to cherish for nearly your whole life. And that's going to be even bigger if you can somehow make it through the Nationals, make it through that gauntlet to make it to the Melbourne Esports Open. Now, moments like that, they'll stay with you forever, especially if you are the winner and you can lift up that trophy on that Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, so it turns out there's a bit of an internet issue.
Oh,
That's the hardware issue. Of course, they are on LAN, but because we're a remote studio, we are going from the internet. Of course, that being said, they are on 8 ping over there. They're right next to the Sydney Exchange. It is, for all intents and purposes, a LAN event, especially because they're all got the same setup. It's completely even footing between these two teams. Even if I'm saying that Kiama right now feel like the big beast at the end of the road for Canley Vale.
Yeah, Kiama definitely does seem like that, but you never know. The Beast might be sleeping for the first few games, and Canley Vale might be able to get that early advantage and get that mental lead as well. And especially on LAN, that mental edge can always prove the difference. Like online, it's not as big of a factor because you're at home, you can easily reset. But on LAN, one of the big questions about your performance is how quickly can you reset and how quickly can you forget any issues that have been happening.
And I know you guys, you don't like Talk at League, but actually you love Talk at League. We're going to continue on. We're going to wait, see if we can get this internet restarted and head into the game. We have got the lobby up, so as soon as it is ready, we'll be ready at the same time. And in addition to all of this, you know, it is proudly presented by ASA and Intel. They're also supporting Meta High School Esports League across other games later on this afternoon. As soon as Rocket League is over, there's going to be League of Legends semi-finals and finals for regionals in a very similar process to get to nationals.
Actually, it's only just the grand finals. The semis were played last week as well. But yeah, grand finals at Torrens. I'm actually going to have to rush down there because that will be on site. So I won't probably even have time to have lunch, but that's a completely different story.
You don't need lunch. You can just go on the high of that is Rocket League. Certainly exciting matchups. Well, one matchup. That's it.
Yeah,
just one best of 5, and you're through to nationals. And I think Kiama, the way that I saw them play earlier on in the season, certainly seemed like they're the kind of team that could win nationals and make it to that Melbourne stage. But first, Canley Vale looking to upset them.
Definitely, but if Canley Vale can upset them, that would be pretty massive in the grand scheme of things. It might give a team like St. Bernard's College down in Melbourne a golden opportunity to secure a spot at the Melbourne Esports Open, but still plenty of questions to be answered within the next hour and a bit as, well, it looks like issues are slowly but surely getting sorted out here. We're able to just get back into the lobby once again, so hopefully we'll be back into the action in maybe 2 minutes' time.
Yeah, I'm expecting it to come up very soon. I know you guys love looking at this screen, the Petty Kirby fight, the Jando Kudo fight, and the Foz Ribbit fight. I'm certainly looking at Foz to step up, but I'm pretty sure Jando here is the actual captain of Kiama. And Ribbit and Kirby, I think Kudo is the captain over on the Canley Vale team. You know, correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't followed this well enough. I think hopefully these guys at home haven't followed it until now. This is where it gets to the big part, the big end of that season, where we've got all these lands, we've got all these live events, and we're gearing up for that national stage.
Definitely. Teams are slowly but surely starting to join the lobby now, so we're not that far away. So before we get in, do you have any expectations for today?
I'm thinking Kiama. I've got my eyes on Kiama. I kind of know those players, which is why I'm sort of thinking them. I saw how they played earlier on in the season, and now we've kind of got to that point where we're seeing other people challenge them. You've got 5-6 weeks to get better, and I think that's where Canley Vale could have the advantage if they wanted to. It's about developing, getting better as the season goes on.
Definitely is the case as... Well, I'm going to agree with you here. I mean, I think Kaima is definitely the best team in New South Wales at the current moment. And as you said, they have a lot of quality players right now to work with. And if all of them can turn up, well, this could just be all but over. But in saying that, Canley Vale, they do have a bit of that unknown factor. So you never know. They might just start popping off from nowhere. And they could just easily blindside the boys from Kiama.
I think they could, but... Well, I think the real start of this series is going to be the telling tale. I think Canley Vale need to get off to a blinder of a start, make sure that they can take down that first game. Otherwise, we may not see too much out of Canley Vale going forward. This is almost there. We've got the teams in. We're ready to kick off. They're ready to find out who is going to that national stage.
They definitely are. They've all joined the lobby. They just finally need to get in their teams in. After about a 90-minute delay, we can finally get into this regional final.
I blame Chris the Average on this. I've never had this problem when I'm running a broadcast. So what's new? What's happening? What's changing differently? It's Chris.
I just have that unlucky factor around me. I mean,
can you just please apologize to the poor audience who have had to listen to our voices for 5-6 extra minutes?
Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, I'm not taking any responsibility, but if Yumi wants me to, I'll say a slight apology on behalf of us all here at the Meta High School Esports
My
League.
deepest and sincerest apologies on behalf of Chris the Average. He didn't mean to, but he broke the internet just like Kim Kardashian did. No. It's what happens when you're doing esports, especially in Australia. It happens all the time. Just seeing if we can get these guys going. They have all joined, as far as I can see.
Yep, we're in the lobby.
We are in the lobby. We've got 7 players. We just need them to kick it off. As I'm ready to kick off too. I mean, we haven't cast together yet.
Nope.
And so this is a first chance for us to get on board with probably one of the best casts of all time. But they are joining now. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you've been waiting for it. Here it is. It is the regional finals for New South Wales. Let us get underway.
Yes, let us finally get underway here as Jando will go up early here as Kirby, though, will get a response. Canley Vale moving into the attacking third very, very quickly here at the start of the game. But we do see a bit of movement from Foz, just trying to push it forward. The best PS4 player currently in the scene, according to your man, Yellow Chazan.
I don't know too many PS4 players, but Foz is certainly one of the better ones that I have seen. And honestly, a great start coming off a lot of challenges in the midfield. Both teams holding the ball pretty dead even right now.
Yeah, the ball's stuck on the halfway line so far here, but Canley Vale trying to move it forward here. Kirby misses the backflip. You do hate to see it.
I like the idea, though. He was looking for that quick pass, and he just didn't get underneath it.
Yeah, just couldn't get the timing on it correctly here as the ball once again into the defensive third here for Kiama. Definitely on the back foot early here as Kirby goes up off the backboard. Can Ribbit get the follow through? No, it will be denied there.
That was a great pass and even better defense. That slight touch off the backboard, it's way harder than it looks.
Yeah, backboard plays are one of the most exciting but difficult plays in Rocket League as Chano will just mistime that hit there. Bozo able to recover and bring it back forward here, but here's the play coming out here. Sends it back to halfway. Very unfortunate there for Canley Vale.
Certainly no nerves from Canley Vale too. They are attacking that ball over and over again. In fact, they've had the lion's share of the possession so far. They're looking great.
Definitely are, as Kudo does get demoed, but Ribbit still moving forward. Just couldn't find the timing on the shot. Good touch there from Ribbit, or Kirby, though, to keep it in the attacking third. Ribbit now lining up. They shoot. They score! Kudo with the first.
Kudo, that first goal straight into the net, on target as usual, and over the top of the defender.
Yeah, definitely there. Good play there from Kudo, as he will get the opening goal in this best of 5. But we're already back to the kickoff here, and 2 minutes already gone so far. It has been a pretty good game.
Yeah, for sure. And we've seen a lot of attacking plays coming out from Canley Vale. They're looking so solid. We haven't actually got to see much of Kayama so far. And Ribbit putting in number 2.
We saw this last week in Victoria as well. There was just this 30-second spell where the attacking team was able to just plonk in a few goals and pretty much dictate the pace of the rest of that first match. So
well, they're putting in so much more attacking work than Kayama, and all of a sudden they're starting to open up that net, create shot opportunities that they can put over the top of a defender. And even there we saw Petty going up for a ball. Maybe he's a little bit nervous at the start of this, but Kudo, he fell off the wall, and that's going to go straight in for Jando.
Jando with the response here. Let's look at the replay. Oh, that was a well-played shot from him. Kudo, very, very unfortunate. Nearly got to it in time, but it just didn't work out for him. Very unfortunate for Canley Vale.
2-1. It's only 1 goal the difference. We're halfway, and as I said, the nerves could have been there for Kayama, but all of a sudden it is tied up.
Tied up once again, and once again, only a few seconds off the kickoff, we see another goal forced off the sideboard, and it works out perfectly. Doesn't even touch the ground, as we're tied up at 2-2.
This is more of what we expected from Kayama. They got 2 big shots there, and they were caught Canley Vale off guard. I don't think they expected that such a shot was possible, and they've done it again. Every time it's near that wall, Kayama are scoring.
It definitely helps that Foz does have a relatively open net to work with here. Bit of a misplay there from Canley Vale.
It really helped as well that Foz is in that Batmobile, able to scoop underneath. If he was in the Octane, that would have gone wide, it would have gone to the left, wouldn't have been able to get enough change of angle.
Definitely is the case, as we do see resumption in play. Our 5th restart, actually, as the ball now in the top midfield for now. Jando pushes it forward. Kudo, and we clear it out into the pocket and Ribbit into midfield with Petty already there to get the ball back into the center, but Kirby as well just knocking it back, and it's pretty much just stuck in that near corner.
It's getting really rough here as Canley Vale, all of a sudden the tides are turned. They're the ones stuck in defense, getting pressured regularly as Petty unfortunately flies past another. It will lead to the clear though.
We'll definitely clear it out here, but Kudo, that could have been disastrous. Ball will go wide and over the net as Foz looks to try and put a bit more pressure on, won't be able to, as our ball now gets reset here, but Kudo moves in, just couldn't get the shot on.
Ribbit, he saved his own goal, and it's gone the other end. A big mistake comes out as Ribbit was in the opponent's net. They had it wide open, and instead of a tied game, it is now a 2-goal lead for Kayama.
Kayama starting to put the whip in here. They are storming ahead. They've got a 2-goal lead with only about 95 seconds remaining on the clock here, and Canley Vale, well, they needed to definitely start lifting. A couple of misplays over the past 2 minutes has definitely cost them.
That is really tough to see because Ribbit, he had that chance. They could have had this, Canley Vale, and now they seem to have fallen behind. 1 minute 20 left. They need to tie up this game with 2 more goals.
The question is, though, can they do? We have seen a lot of attacking prowess from him as Kirby puts it into the corner, tries to double tap, but won't be able to here as Ribbit is forced to clear from their own half. We'll push it into the forward here. Foz, though, able to just get to a good spot as Kudo will get demoed here, and that will allow Jando a very easy clear.
Great to see Petty getting way more involved too. Those early nerves starting to dissipate as he is starting to go for the ball, put the pressure on, and even got a big demo.
Definitely, indeed. That demo was very crucial in that passage of play as Kudo able to clear it out and send it back in it to the defensive half here for Kayama. Kirby setting up. He can't get a clear shot on, but ball control still with Canley Vale here. Ribbit will be trying to dribble it in. Can he do it? No, off the top bar. Hate to see it as Kirby tries to push it forward. Ribbit just on position, and that'll be Kayama back with ball control with 20 remaining.
20 seconds. It doesn't seem like enough for Canley Vale here. Disaster in game number 1, but they really took it to Kayama. They've shown that throughout the rest of the series, they can certainly take the win.
It definitely won't be a weak series. We will be seeing a lot of dominant action here. But for game 1, it will be the boys from the Illawarra. It will be Kayama picking up game 1 for the 2. As soon as this ball touches the ground, there it is.
Kayama have taken game 1 off to a fantastic start. but a little bit fortunate at the same time. They were given that one goal, and it could have been an overtime in this game. So an interesting start, some great performance. Obviously, we said Petty not quite getting those nerves up as we saw, but Foz and Jando certainly doing so much work to make up for it.
Yeah, we're definitely talking up Foz in the pre-game here, so it's good to see him starting to lift as we will have a very short break for the next, or not short break, like a short intermission between games. Where
60 seconds as usual. We're getting ready for the next one. Give the players some time to relax at the same time, and we will head into game number 2 very shortly. Kiama, an early lead. Foz, Jando, Petty really doing the work here on the pitch, and I certainly expect more out of this, out of Canley Vale after that big start. They only got 3 shots on the board, but they had so much pressure in that forward corner.
Yeah, but that could have also been their downfall as well, because we saw with a few of their goals, they were just lacking in that defensive third.
It is tough to see.
Yeah.
They could have done a lot more. I think Kiama were the ones that truly picked up this game. They felt really rough and rugged at the start, but by the end, they did seem really well oiled. They started getting their own attacking plays off, and they came back. You have to remember, they came back from a 2-goal deficit to then be 4-2. That is a big turnaround.
Definitely is. That's good for any Rocket League team out there. But maybe for Kiama, maybe they're just a bit cold at the start. I mean, especially waiting 90 minutes, that does sort of affect you.
It certainly does.
Yeah. Sorry, excuse me. Forgot to hit my cough button, unfortunately, but what can you do? Anyways, game 2. Looks like we're all but ready to get back into it here as Kiama. Still on the blue side, Canley Vale on the orange as kickoff comes through. And Foz Kudo! That's a good save there. Just able to deny him the first 5-second goal. But still, that could have been disastrous.
That could have been very rough, but fortunately, in the end, we do see the play go back into the midfield, become more of a standard issue, but Kudo, he will get the first goal again for Canley Vale.
We'll get the first goal once again here, and that was well played from him here. He was able to read the play from Foz, able to just line himself up, and he just has to tap it into the net. A nice little goal for him.
It only took them 20 seconds again, and it seems that Canley Vale are quick starters. They can get an early lead here, but this time they have to keep it. They can't let Kiama run all over them. I think that's a problem. When you get that lead, you go too defensive and end up giving up opportunities.
Yeah, if you don't keep that attacking prowess up, that can be your downfall, especially in a game like Rocket League. But anyways, 40 seconds now gone on the time here as Jando goes up, tries to send it down here for Petty, but will not be able to find a clear shot. We'll send it wide, and Kudo will be able to regain some control, but he whiffs the ball as well.
Yeah, he didn't have any boost and tried to get a clever touch on that. Unfortunately, didn't make it, but he does get the bump on his way out.
Definitely does get the bump. Here's the ball being set up for Canley Vale, but Kiama quick onto the defense, able to quickly send it back here for the reset as Ribbit now tries to push it out of the defensive burst, but Fox there.
He actually had a flip cancel there. There's some serious mechanics on Ribbit. It's only been a shame. This is showing that it certainly was nerves early on in that first game that unfortunately led to him saving that goal.
Yeah, nerves can be very, very crucial here as we do see Kirby trying to push it out of that corner. Kudo coming in, will send it down, but no one there for the follow-up. That ball resets back into their own defensive pass here for Canley Vale. To Jando. Oh my god, that ball just goes straight under him, and that will be a very easy score for Ribbit as they get it.
The grubber all the way along the ground from one end to the other. Jando completely caught out by that first touch. That is another 2-goal lead for Canley Vale. They need to hold on, and they need to keep up this aggression.
I really like that play as well. Jambo's obviously expecting him to go high because that's what you do at these high levels of Rocket League, but just that play to go down, keep it on the floor. Beautiful stuff from him here as Ribbit tries to clear the ball out of his attacking half, but it looks like Foz will just be there to keep some sort of pressure here on Canley Vale. But Kudo moving forward. Can he get the goal? No, nice save there for Foz.
Very well done by Foz. He's had an incredible performance, very consistent as the captain here. And make sure that right now there's still a chance for Kiama to come back in this game.
Kirby just trying to push it forward here as Jando is able to deny him of a clean shot. But Kirby still in the attack, still trying to find something to work with here, but that's an open net, and that's an easy goal here for Jando's Kayama finally finding a reply.
I'm getting deja vu. The comeback is real again. Kayama suddenly bringing it back to within 1 goal. They continue feeling like they're the team that you can never count out and will be able to win from anywhere. We're only halfway through this second game.
And it already feels like we're into game 4. This feels like a very great game of Rocket League as Kudo. Oh, that is so unfortunate for him off the post. But here comes a reshot shot. Oh, they double commit and no one able to get a clear line there as Petty will be able to move it forward.
Jando just held on in front of the line. Got the slightest of touches that kept it up. And right there, the passing play. I like the idea and it might set up the goal. Foz has put it in.
And beautiful play there from Foz once again off the sidebar. He loves being there. And it just works out perfectly for him.
And that first touch, it wasn't there on the scoreboard, but it was assisted. That first pass across to Foz set up that entire goal. And not only that, set up a tie in this match. We've seen a disconnect come out from Jando, potential controller issues. This could be disaster.
There could be as well. They're now 3v2, but
he's back
into the game here and is able to just clear that ball away from the net. Now Ribbit is forced to go back into defensive as at ball goes very high into the sky. But Kirby, I think he got the touch. It might have been his teammate, but Foz now in the attack, but just sends it wide here and will not be able to retain control.
A good attempt at the dribble there by Foz. He has been able to take players out with it, but not set up anything further. And now Foz back in defense for Kayama.
Back in defense here as the ball will go into the defensive third for Canleyvale as Petty just lobs it back up here, but Kudo is there to respond. That ball in a bit of stasis mode right now, but here comes a very weak shot. No one there for the follow-up for Kayama as Jando keeps it in the forward half here. Kudo though will stop it and will try and tap it away.
These high aerial touches have worked really well for Kayama too. Able to put on a ton of pressure from it. Another high touch, and this could set up the goal for Jando.
But Jando just unable to time it correctly here. That ball will go across his car. And now Kudo on the attack. Fozzo will be able to defend. He goes in for his second, but Ribbit there for the denier. Now Petty, he's in a good spot to set it up here. He moves it along the side and onto the backboard, but Jando unable to get the follow-up here. Tries to move it, but the ball now in open sky as Foz. Nice save there to keep it away from the net.
Very important to keep this game tied because that was a long shot that was ready to go into the net and Foz just came back in time.
Yes, good timing there from Foz as 20 seconds remaining here. Kayama with all the chocolates to play for here. They're in the attacking third, but Ribbit able to clear it out. Now he quickly resets the ball into the defensive third here for Kayama. Kudo is trying to line himself up as the countdown begins. The ball off the sidebar. Oh, just missed times the hit there, and it looks like we are going to be going to overtime. Fozzo, he wants to end this in regulation. We're in to stoppage. Will anyone touch it? No, they won't.
First overtime of the day, and this felt like what game 1 was meant to be, a 2-goal apiece. And this is when the pressure and the nerves really start to hit.
Yeah, definitely. Overtime is a completely different beast in Rocket League. It's golden goal. One mistake could cost you the match and possibly even give Kayama a very attractive chance to go 2-0.
2-0 is almost a death knell, but there was a good shot from Ribbit, unfortunately going wide, not quite getting the touch.
Just couldn't get the touch there as Kudo is trying to keep the ball in the attacking third here. This could be going in. No, it will go wide. Kirby unable to just nestle it into the goal, but Ribbit looks like he is resetting into the defense here. That could be a crucial misplay here. That ball off the backboard, but easily saved there from Kudo, but Jando moving in.
I'm very impressed by Jando. Every time he's on the ball, he looks like he wants to take a player out of the game, turn it into a 3v2, and he's been doing that masterfully so far.
Definitely has been as the ball back into the defensive third here for Kayama. Foz trying to get it out. This could be a backboard play. No, no one there.
Oh, it's open.
Canley ball. It's open. Can Foz get it in? No, off the crossbar, off the backboard. They just couldn't find a clear shot. Kirby still in goal. Will be able to get it out, but Foz already there trying to get the reset. Petty might be able to get the lineup, but Ribbit moving it forward here. He needs to just beat the last man. Won't be able to. Jando with the save. And now Kudo will be trying to get it centered, but he won't be able to. As that ball going into the defensive third.
Two close defensive plays, and it might have to be a third this time. It is on the side of Kayama. Is it going in? Yes! The win for Canley Vale in game number 2. They tie up the series.
1-1 now, your series score here. And that was well played from Kirby there just to go up, drag the players away from the net. And he just has to shoot it all in. Canley Vale win 3-2.
They held on defense. They had to make 3 big saves in a row. And then finally, they open up the net with all those shots at the other end. Canley Vale have come to play. They've come to cause the upset against Kayama, and they seem on form to do so.
They definitely are. They are proving a quite attractive attacking team here. As we just look at their shots right now. They have increased from 3 to, that's about 9-10 on the score right now.
9-10, yeah. And we got 3 goals coming out from Canley Vale, but it was 1 apiece. I think we're seeing all 3 really getting involved, as opposed to Kayama, who are sitting petty back, playing more of a defensive role and making sure that Foz and Jando put in as much effort as possible. But in the end, that's led to Canley Vale getting more shots, more chances to score that net. And in the end, in that overtime, they did have the advantage, and they took advantage, got the goal. Won game 2, and now we certainly have a series on our hand.
We definitely do have a series on our hand, and it's going to be a very thrilling series as well. If we continue to see us into game 3 and 4, possibly even 5, this is going to be very, very tight indeed.
I think we're going to maybe see a game 5. The way this is going, I felt game 1 should have been an overtime. It didn't quite happen, but when we get to game 2 and we see it, when we get to game 3, surely we have another overtime. I think the real question for Kayama now that they have lost that game is whether they can stop leaking goals right at the start of the game. At both of them so far, they've let in 2 early goals that made it so hard to claw back.
Yeah, and we can see they're good finishers as well, but just that start, they need to be a bit more proactive out of the gates here, because if they let another 2 early goals in within the first 90 seconds, we could easily see Canley Vale just continue to dominate the game and eventually take it all out.
I definitely think that Canley Vale look the better team right now. They had a lot of pressure in game 1. In game 2, they created more opportunities. On the same note, from Kayama, we saw the passing plays. We saw that cross-field touches that generated opportunities for them, as long as they start being confident enough to push up for those passes, to be ready across the field for those passes.
Yeah, being able to actually move the ball like that is so crucial, especially at a high level in Rocket League, because if you don't have that sort of communication where you're able to just move the ball around freely and try and communicate where you want that ball to be, it makes it nigh on impossible to be any sort of attacking team.
It is really tough. If you're not ready for the pass, what ends up happening is you end up hitting it across, and it's almost certainly a pass to your opponents.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. You end up getting them to counterattack you, and that's a struggle. But we are going to head into game number 3. We're ready to see who gets the early lead, who gets that second game and goes to match point.
Janda already demoed off the map here. That means a very early 3v2 advantage here for Canley Vale, but they are unable to make it work in their favor right now here, but they might just be getting an early goal. No, well defended there from Petty, as Janda moves the ball up here, but another shot comes out, but easily swapped away there from Foz, as Kirby able to just pop it into the corner and get that ball away from danger, as Canley Vale start to move it forward here. But it looks like they're actually just going to reset and take it back, as Foz moves up, but no attack from them.
More importantly, an early attack from Kayama. That's the difference that they needed, to be straight onto the front foot, see if they can get this early goal. But Ribbit has questions to ask of the defense.
Definitely has a fair few questions here, as that ball off the back post. A fair few early chances there from Canley Vale, just going wide off the mark, as Jando starts to push forward here. Might be able to get that second touch, but 3 defenders there. No one from Kayama will be able to touch that ball for the next few moments. It's Ribbit moves it forward here. Couldn't find that second touch in the 1-2, as Kayama starts to move the ball back into the attacking third. But we do see Ribbit trying to push it away here. This ball going dangerously center, as Foz will be able to just stop it in its tracks, and the ball is just pretty much going end to end.
River's been really impressive too, both in defense and attack. He always feels like he has complete control over that ball.
Definitely has that sort of feel to it as Jando pops it over the attacking player. Petty just sends it back to the defensive goal line here as Jando moves it finally into the attacking third here. We get to see Kaima try and put in another good goal attempt, but looks like Jando just missed that one there. Very unfortunate for him as Petty starts to move forward, keeps pressure on for now, but Ribbit able to almost clear the ball out, but there is that response there from Kayama as Kirby sends it across goal, and Foz with the tight line will get the first goal in game 3.
He found the tightest gap that he could as he read Kirby's clear and then follows it up over the top of the defenders. He ended up beating out all three.
And the better thing about that one as well is he got it on the near side of the goal. That was even harder for him, but he still somehow lands it. And with 2 minutes gone, Kayama finally gets the lead. First time in this game, and for the first time in the first half of the match.
Great to see these early leads, changing it up. Maybe we see this Kayama team able to hold on to it, something that Canley Vale struggled with in the first 2 games.
As the ball starts to fly up here, Kudo will be able to swat it away, but Jando, he responds, and he gets it on the top bar. Another score there for Kayama.
Jando and Foz on fire, the 2 veterans of the Kayama roster, trying to get them to the Melbourne Esports Open. First step, get that second goal.
They now hold a commanding 2-0 advantage here as we are just about to hit the halfway point in game 3. In Canley Vale, well, no real early start here for him. They got a few early shots, but nothing really to work with as they tried to move the ball forward here. But Petty, oh, that could have been disastrous if there was a Canville player close to that ball. But Foz will be able to just freeze it for now. But Canleyville have a good opportunity here. Kirby comes in for the touch, will center it, but no one there for the follow-up.
It's a 1v1.
Definitely is, but Ribbit able to just clear it away. Petty now going on the attack, but won't be able to find the line. But Foz off the sideboard, surely not. Surely he will not get another goal, but Ribbit there with the easy clear as the ball goes into the attacking third once again.
And Kayama seem to be holding on to this lead really well. They get onto the attack, keep the pressure going, so that Canley Vale don't even have an opportunity to attack. A good attempt at the pass, but Kirby wasn't ready.
Yeah, Kirby just was not expecting it here as the ball once again goes into the attacking third here for Kayama. Foz ready to get another one on the board here, but that ball will be quickly reset there by Canley Vale. The Jano Wick on the charge here. Will be trying to find another goal, but will be denied of a clean opportunity. But Foz there for the lineup. 3-0 for Kayama.
That secured the game win, and it's Jando and Foz again, that attacking duo. Petty's holding back. He's that cheerleader. He's the defensive player, of course, but I mean, if I'm Petty right now, I love seeing my 2 teammates have such a big game.
He just knows he needs to do his small part and everything will be working out very, very nicely here for Kayama as they have what you would think is an unassailable 3-0 lead in Game 3.
You can tell that these 2 or these 3 on Kayama have put in the work to build that synergy.
Oh, Foz, that was a marvelous save to keep the goal open.
But that shot was even better off the roof, kept his flip, and made sure that it was very difficult to save. If he could have got underneath it more, it would have been the goal of the tournament so far.
Definitely would have been, as Jando, he tries for a long ranger. He might just get it, but denied a clean second touch. Well played there from, I believe, Kirby to deny him the goal.
36 seconds left, and it feels like all she wrote. It seems that Kayama High School are going to go ahead to a 1-game lead into match point and be so close to that national level.
Very close indeed as Kudo able to just swat that ball away by 15 seconds remaining. Canley Vale more than likely looking forward to Game 4 and possibly even to Game 5 if we need it. But for now, as the countdown comes through, Foz nearly getting himself another goal. But it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things as Kayama 3-0 win in Game 3 as they go 2-1.
They hit their stride and Kayama take the lead. It has been a big performance in this game from Kayama, a complete 3-0 wipe. They didn't let Canley Vale get many chances to even get on the attack, let alone score any goals. apart from that one big chance that Ribbit had, but Ribbit had to do that from one end to the other.
Yeah.
It wasn't a series of attacks that opened up the net. It was one attempt at a huge goal. And unfortunately, that made it quite simple for Foz to save out.
Yeah, Foz with a good save in that situation here. But at this point, Canley Vale, they are starting to slowly but surely move their early game into the later parts of the map, or in the match. But it's getting easier for Kiama to just get that early lead and just dominate the game from there.
I think Kiama, they did a much better job of, when they had that early lead, keeping it secured, keeping that going, keeping their gameplay the exact same. Because when we saw Canley Vale get a 2-goal lead, all of a sudden they all withdraw back to defense. They're not thinking, how do we score more goals? How do we stay on attack? And that's ending up costing the goals that score against them because they get so defensive. Well, we're seeing a masterclass of how to keep a lead from Kiama High School.
Definitely are. Canley Vale, they just feel like they're worried about the counter, and it's definitely coming to fruition, that worry, because we're seeing a lot of goals from Kiama where they just get the ball back into the defense, they do a quick reset, and they push straight ahead in that counter attack, and they pretty much catch Canley Vale off guard. But game 4, could this be the decider here for Kiama? Only one map they need to make it to Nationals.
It is so close. Kiama have put in all this work, 6 weeks, and now number 7 is the week that could get them to Nationals and 1 week away from that big Melbourne Esports Open berth.
As we do see Jana going on the prowl early here, might be able to get the goal. No, Foz once again coming in high. The PS4 player getting the opener for Kiama.
Comes from heaven and like an angel, scores over the top. It was actually a bounce shot at the same time, but no matter what, if it was on target, it was going to be a goal.
As we do see the kickoff here, Canley Vale, they must be thinking, how do we stop Foz from these very tricky angles, because he's seeming to block these goals pretty much out of thin air. We've seen him from the sideboard, we've seen him from the sky, and we've seen some glorious tight angle plays as Canley Vale onto the attack.
And it feels like Ribbit that has to be the one to come in and be the guy to take down Foz, to take down Jando, who are both on fire. Ribbit doing as much as he can right now in the attack, where the Kudo is just holding that midfield, getting those challenges off and building the chances for Ribbit.
Ribbit definitely needs to get a bit more action in the play, but as you said, the midfield needs to be cooperating.
Well, I think we need to see more aggression coming out from Ribbit's teammates, because they are a goal down. They need to get on the attack, take some risks.
We do it as Kudo will be trying to clear ball out, but Foz, surely not again. Well saved there from Ribbit to just keep that ball out of the net. Foz, he loves these tight angle plays, and for the most part, they are working.
He's getting them on target. He must be feeling really good right now, knowing that he's able to take shots exactly where he pleases.
And having that freedom in Rocket League, especially at a stage like this, there is no other better feeling. Apart from maybe winning an entire tournament.
I mean, they look close to at least winning the New South Wales Regional and getting to National. They just have to hold on, and we know that they can hold on to these leads.
Canley Vale, they are slowly but surely starting to come out of their shell here, but they've just seen that extra bit of zazz here as Foz. That's off the post once again, very close to possibly putting in the sealer.
A sigh of relief comes out from all the Canley Vale students watching at the moment. And Ribbit, what a god! That flick goes up very high, and that's going to give a start to this attack.
Will give us the fire they finally need here as Ribbit goes for another shot, just a little bit wide from here as Kudo tries to push it forward, but Foz, he's able to keep it in the defensive third. That attacking prowess is already gone.
It's so hard for Canley Vale too. Every single time they look like they're going to get an attack, you see someone challenge them. Foz getting in the face, making it so hard to have any time on that ball.
Jando in a good spot here to center it up for Foz. Foz takes the shot and he scores 2-0 for Kiama.
They have gone ahead. Kiama look like they're going to be the champions. It's 2 minutes left, and Foz finds the angle behind the defender, gets that second goal, and now all pressure on Canley Vale.
Canleyville, they need to start turning up now as we return to the kickoff. 2 minutes 18 remaining on the clock. They really need to start getting a move on here. They might have to go all out as well just to find their first goal. But Kiama able to quickly defuse the situations for the most part. They have been dominant so far in Game 4.
It's been 5 goals in a row for Kiama. I don't know what the difference was, but it feels like they've truly settled in.
And that's Shanda able to just swat the ball away there from Kudo. Kiama with all they need right now. Maybe a third goal just to make things official. But for now, Canleyville still on the attacking Kirby, able to move it up onto the attacking third. Maybe they didn't need that double commit there, but the ball in open space. Can someone get to it? It will be Foz able to clear it away, but Kirby is getting ready for the setup here. We'll have to try and center it once again. Jano already there. Ribbit just gets it with the side of his car, and that ball already back into their defensive.
I was surprised by Kirby. He pulled out there. They need to be on the attack. There's only a minute left. You have to risk getting scored on to get the goal, and that was so close. Can Kirby finish it? What an angle!
Kirby, a tight angle once again, and we are seeing a fair few of these tight ones here.
And there was 2 backboard touches that led to this. Ribbit getting a very interesting touch. Very hard to read, and it goes nice and high. Good to see those aerial mechanics coming out from Kirby.
Canleyville back in with a chance here as that ball will stay pretty neutral off the kickoff. Kudo pushes forward here, goes for a cheeky shot, but well defended there by Jando. Minute remaining now. Canleyville, they feel like they have a shot to come back in. And well, we've seen the complete opposite in the first 2 games like Kiama. They're looking for an opening to come back in. Can Canleyville do the same to their opponents?
It seems very tough to do it, but they've got 46 seconds. That's plenty of time, but not when you're getting bumped out of net.
And that's what you'll love to see from Kiama.
It's
They're
open.
so aggressive. Open goal. Kudo, he scores. It's tied. And we could be going to overtime in Game 4.
Nerves of steel coming out. Kudo waiting underneath the ball, getting that final touch and securing the tie. Maybe we see a Game 4 overtime. Maybe we see a Game 5.
And it would be perfect for this series. This series has been tight from the outset, but Jando, he definitely doesn't want to stay at Torrens University for a second longer than he wants. 30 seconds now remaining. He was trying to push it in, but just couldn't, as Canleyville able to just keep that ball in play here for themselves. They got a bit of control. The Foz on the attack. 15 seconds remaining. We all know what he can do, but Canleyville will able to clear it out. Jano goes boom, and with 8 seconds remaining, overtime looks all but a certainty here as River goes booms as well, and has overtime all but confirmed.
There was a chance for a pass there, but you see these at the 0-second mark. Everyone was running back to net. They don't want to get scored on. And we saw before, Canleyville took the overtime. They're the ones that seemed more comfortable in that scenario, but it could go any which way.
Foz just missed times. That ball will go slightly over as Kiama on the attack early here, but Ribbit nearly found himself a cheeky toss to force it into the goal. Won't be able to, but Kiama quickly back onto the defense here. And Canleyville having all the ball control they want. Petty just going for a bit of a sideways motion there. There's the ball just in stasis right now. Foz goes up for the shot. There's going to be a goal. That's it! And that is game. That is GG as Kiama are the winners of the New South Wales Regional Finals for Rocket League.
And what I love to see is Petty was the one that set that up, and Foz, the guy who's been talked about all series long, closes it out. But this was so close.
Very, very close.
Kiama showing that just had a little more in the tank at the end of the day. And I have to look back at game number 1 at Canleyvale, who honestly was so close, but there was that one mistake by Ribbit where he accidentally saved the goal and ended up going against him, turning it from a 2-2 or 3-3 into a 4-2. And that is heartbreaking. Canleyvale are going to go home. They are knocked out from this season, but Kiama, they get to go to Nationals.
And as we expected, I mean, we weren't expecting as tight of a game, but Canleyville, they definitely did not go home with heads down because they proved themselves to be quite a force.
They really showed up. And honestly, I was very impressed by them, all 3 members getting involved. I think if we see them next season, if they put that work in, the time in that it takes to be a great Rocket League player, a great esports player, then I can fully see them winning out next season, assuming that happens, of course.
Yep.
But that is the end of the New South Wales regional finals.
Yes, it is, for Rocket League at least.
We have crowned our New South Wales champion, which is something to be proud of in its own right. Being the best team in New South Wales, Kiama High School are that team. They travelled 2 hours to get here from south of Wollongong all the way up to Sydney. And they managed to win it 3-1. They're going to go to nationals. They're going to have that chance to get to the Melbourne Esports Open.
And what a great representative for New South Wales as well. Kiama have proven themselves to be the dominant team in this state, and now they get to play up on the national stage.
We do have to talk about that was the first game that Kiama had lost this season. Game.
Yes.
Not match, but the first individual game that they lost was to Canley Vale in this match. And yet, it could have been more. I mean, realistically, the way game 1 went, it could have been a game number 5. And it's a shame we didn't see it, but not a shame for Kiama High School. That is the end of the day. For Rocket League. Up next, we do have the Meta High School Esports League of Legends New South Wales Regional Final. And you have to remember, guys, this is proudly supported, proudly presented by ASA and Intel. Big shout out to those guys as our sponsors, as well as Torrens University Australia and Optus. Big support behind the high school esports scene in Australia, a major point of growth. Make sure you're following the Meta High School Esports channel following this one, because we will see more and more Rocket League as time goes on. Thank you, Chris, for coming on and joining. This has been an excellent cast. Love seeing some of this upcoming talent and where they're going in this scene.
Thank you very much, Yumi. But I'm still around. I just have to pop down to Torrens now for the League of Legends final. They'll be Carringvale beat Lakers, so a bit of a Sharks-Dragons rivalry if you are an NRL fan, which will be interesting to see. But
definitely make sure that you stay tuned for that. We are going to, of course, go to a bit of a break. We will be back as soon as possible. We're running a little bit overtime. We're expecting the League of Legends to start at 3 p.m. So it is 3:20 now. We got to make sure to get that crossover happening. But thank you all for tuning in. I love you all. Make sure you follow again, and make sure if you are interested in League of Legends that you stay tuned for that. See you all next time for, is it the Victoria tomorrow?
Yep, Victoria tomorrow, live from Melbourne, and we'll have our own team down there as well.
Yeah, Victoria tomorrow. Make sure you stay tuned, 1 p.m. tomorrow. Love you all again. See you next time.
Bye for now.